Kundalini Shakti is not merely symbolic. It is described as a coiled, dormant energy residing at the base of the spine, specifically in the Muladhara Chakra. This potential power, often visualized as a sleeping serpent, represents the unmanifested divine feminine energy within the human body. Its resting place is secured by the Mula Bandha, the root lock, which prevents its premature dissipation. The goal of Kundalini Yoga is the controlled, intentional arousal of this energy, forcing it upward through the central energy channel. This process fundamentally alters consciousness by integrating the lower, material energies with the higher, spiritual centers. The awakening is initiated when the prana, or life force, is stabilized and directed, creating the necessary pressure to uncoil the Shakti. The ascent of Kundalini requires the purification and activation of the three primary Nadis, or subtle energy channels. Ida Nadi, associated with the lunar, cooling, and feminine energy, flows to the left of the spine. Pingala Nadi, linked to the solar, heating, and masculine energy, flows to the right. These two channels spiral around the central axis, meeting at each chakra. The Sushumna Nadi, the central channel, remains closed or dormant in most individuals. Kundalini can only rise when Ida and Pingala are balanced, causing their energies to merge and enter the Sushumna, which then acts as the direct pathway to the crown. This merging neutralizes the dualistic flow of prana, making the central channel viable. Chakras function as specific vortex points where the nadis intersect, acting as transformers for the rising energy. There are 7 major chakras, each governing distinct psychological, physiological, and spiritual states. Muladhara, the root, governs survival and grounding. Svadhisthana relates to creativity and pleasure. Manipura, the solar plexus, controls power and will. Anahata, the heart center, governs compassion. Vishuddha, the throat, manages communication. Ajna, the third eye, controls intuition. Sahasrara, the crown, is the seat of pure consciousness. As Kundalini pierces each chakra, the associated karmic knots and psychological blockages are dissolved, releasing immense energy and transforming the practitioner's perception of reality.
The controlled awakening is typically achieved through specific hatha yoga techniques, primarily advanced pranayama and kriyas. Bhastrika, the bellows breath, generates intense heat, known as tapas, which is essential for burning impurities in the nadis. Specific mudras, such as Kechari mudra, redirect the flow of amrita, the nectar of immortality, downward, while Vajroli mudra helps retain sexual energy, converting it into Oja Shakti. These practices are designed to force the pranavayu and apanavayu, the upward and downward moving energies, to meet forcefully at the navel center, creating the internal pressure required to initiate the upward movement into the Sushumna. The initial challenge in the ascent is piercing the Brahma Granthi, the knot of Brahma, located near the Muladhara and Svadhisthana chakras. This knot represents the attachment to physical existence, material desires, and the fear of death. When Kundalini successfully pierces this Granthi, the practitioner experiences a profound release from basic survival anxieties and a surge of primal energy. Failure to fully dissolve this knot results in the energy falling back down, leading to intense physical discomfort or psychological instability. Successful piercing stabilizes the practitioner's grounding while simultaneously freeing the energy for higher movement and spiritual exploration. The second major obstruction is the Vishnu Granthi, the knot of Vishnu, situated around the Anahata Chakra, the heart center. This knot embodies emotional attachment, the desire for relationship, and the identification with personal power and egoic love. Dissolving the Vishnu Granthi requires transcending dualistic emotions and moving beyond the limitations of personal identity. The practitioner must confront and purify deep-seated emotional wounds and attachments to the material world. Successful passage through this knot results in the expansion of universal compassion, unconditional love, and the realization of the interconnectedness of all beings, stabilizing the energy flow through the middle chakras.
The final barrier before ultimate union is the Rudra Granthi, the knot of Rudra, located between the Ajna and Sahasrara chakras. This knot represents the attachment to psychic powers, intellectual knowledge, and the subtle spiritual ego. It is the final hurdle of individuality, where the sense of being a separate spiritual seeker must be completely dissolved. Piercing the Rudra Granthi requires absolute surrender of the ego structure and the transcendence of all mental constructs. Once dissolved, the energy flows unimpeded into the Sahasrara, marking the transition from individual consciousness to cosmic awareness, and preparing the system for ultimate liberation. When Kundalini Shakti reaches the Sahasrara Chakra, the crown center, it unites with Shiva, the pure consciousness residing there. This union is known as Samadhi, the state of superconsciousness or absolute absorption. In this state, the duality between the individual soul, Jivatman, and the Supreme Soul, Paramatman, ceases. The practitioner experiences Nirvikalpa Samadhi, a state beyond thought and form, characterized by infinite bliss and liberation, or moksha. The entire nervous system is flooded with divine energy, permanently altering the physiological and energetic structure of the body, leading to the realization of non-duality and ultimate freedom from the cycle of rebirth. A full Kundalini awakening is followed by a necessary period of integration, often characterized by involuntary movements known as Kriyavati, or spontaneous purification processes. These Kriyas, including tremors, spontaneous postures, or intense emotional releases, are the body's mechanism for clearing residual blockages. The Chitravrti, or fluctuations of the mind, must be stabilized through continued meditation and ethical living, yama and niyama. Proper integration ensures that the heightened energy does not manifest as psychosis or physical illness. The awakened state requires disciplined maintenance to sustain the elevated level of consciousness and prevent the energy from descending again, ensuring permanent transformation.